All right, today we talk about gravel tires. I'm gonna run you guys through my top 5 gravel tires for 2025. Obviously people in the comments are gonna say that I've missed ones out, but I haven't put anything in that I haven't actually touched, installed or ridden. All right, tire 5, which I don't actually have physically on me right now, is the Pirelli Centurio gravel tire. I haven't actually ridden this tire, but I installed it on my old Crux that I sold when I moved over to the Cannondale, and I was pleasantly surprised about how nice and supple these tires felt and how easy they were to actually get on the rims. We installed them on a set of Zip 303s, the exact same one as the Zip 303S rims, and often tires straight out of the box, especially these gravel tires with the thick sidewalls and stuff, are really hard to install. But yeah, no, they were a breeze to set up. Tread on them is a directional tread, very similar to the Schwab's, kind of how they look more like a racing gravel tire with a directional tread. And also plus they come in tan wool and black options. I'm obviously a big fan of the tan wool tires on gravel bikes, but definitely nice to have a black option there as well. So I thought Pirelli would definitely be my number 5. Haven't actually got them in the moment, but they do retail for $133 in New Zealand, which is definitely that top end of the price point. Number 4 on the list is the Maxis Rambler. These come stock on a lot of gravel bikes, very popular tire. I would say not so much a racing tire, but if you're looking for grip, you can never really go wrong with Maxis. This one here comes on the Merida Silex that we have in the store, which I've actually just taken off because we didn't have any in the boxes. 745, I pretty much only run 745 on pretty much all my bikes. When I first started, I was a 738, and then I've kind of gotten bigger and bigger, and as the technology has gotten better and the bikes have gotten better, it just makes sense for rolling resistance to run a bigger tire. And I think 45 is like the perfect width for being able to train, do some hard trails, do some decent off-road, a little bit of sand, mud here and there, and still be able to roll fast on the road. So 45 is definitely my favorite across the board. Yeah, the Maxis Rambler is definitely a good puncture resistant tire. I wouldn't say it's the fastest on this list. It's also a little bit cheaper at $105 per tire. But definitely if you're getting into gravel and you want something that's a little bit more bulletproof than more of a fast racing tire, and you're not so worried about being able to keep up or doing a lot of road sections. Here in the Wairarapa, you have to ride a lot of road to get to the gravel. So if you're gonna go for a 100K gravel ride, 30 to 40 Ks of that may be on the road. So this is quite a heavy tire and not as fast to be rolling around on the road for a lot. But if you live already straight, you know, you go out your door and you're straight into the trails or straight into the woods, this is definitely a very good tire. You can let the pressure down quite low, and you've got an absolute shed ton of grip on there as well. All right, we're in the store now. I'm gonna run another competition, so let me know in the comments below what your favorite gravel tire is, and I'm gonna select one winner at the end of the week to win 2 Continental Terra Speeds at a 700 by 45. All right, number 3 on the list is the Schwab G1s. There's so many different types of these. This is the Schwab G1 all-round. This was the first gravel tire I ever installed on any of my gravel bikes, the first time I even got a gravel bike. I've got the Schwab G1 all-round. They're more of like a less aggressive gravel tire. All right, we've finally finished building up the G2, and then you can go all the way up to a G1 bike, which is very intense. And you can see I've got these on at the moment. You've got the Schwab G1 RS, which is the racing one, which has kind of like a slick pattern down the middle and then tread on the outside. And then another option you can see here on Anna's bike is the Schwab G1 Rs, which are probably my favorite ones out of the entire list. Like a semi-race gravel tire, but they have lots and lots of tread. Pretty confidence-inspiring tire, and you can get these obviously tan wool, black, all the way up to like a 50 mil. Out of all 4 of the Schwab models, this one would be my favorite. Definitely the Schwab G1R. Just a decent amount of tread, especially for the mud and stuff around the Wairarapa and New Zealand. I feel like for New Zealand gravel races, they are pretty hearty, big chunky bits of gravel. I rolled these tires at Elks to Ocean and I got 2 punctures, so probably not the best idea for that ride. They're definitely the fastest on the road. If you've got a lot of road, it's a 50-50 road gravel, that's the race tire to go for. But for every other day of the week, this is definitely the tire to go for. Awesome tires all around. They've kind of got a tire for every bit of the job, so if you want to stick with one brand to do everything, Schwab is definitely a good option there. All right, and number 2 on the list is specialized gravel tires. You've either got the Tracer or the Pathfinder. Pathfinder is probably one of the top gravel tires and most popular gravel tires on the market right now. I personally never used the Tracer. This is more of like your urban tire. Pretty similar to like the G1 bike. It's got a lot of tread. You can get them in a very big diameter. You can go all the way up to like a 50 in these. Come on a lot of the specialized gravel bikes and like Creos and e-bikes and stuff. More of your like hard compound if you just want to go out there and you're not going for super speed, but you want puncture resistance and some nice tread. The Tracer's a very good tire for you, and at $100 it's a pretty good deal. For me, the best tire that they make is the specialized Pathfinder. This is the one that you see a lot of people racing on. Very popular tire. I'm kind of drawn to giving this one a crack. This This is the new one that's just come out. When I finally decide to get rid of these tires on here, I'm thinking of putting the Pathfinders onto my Super X for the remainder of winter, just because they have an extra bit of tread down the side, but they also have basically like a flat road surface the entire way along the middle of the tire. So like I said before, riding a lot of road to get to the gravel roads around the Wairarapa, I feel like this could be the perfect tire for that. So I really want to test out this new Pathfinder, and it's definitely a good option out there. And also they just look really nice, super like creamy tan wool, and this is obviously in a 45 as well. So that's definitely number 2 on the list. And then number 1, for all of those that know me and have watched my series all of last year leading up to Unbound, my number 1 tire, Continental Terra Speed TRs. I tried so many tire setups and everything to get ready for Unbound last year, and I ended up going with the Terra Speeds in a 45mm, fitted with Vittoria inner liners as well. So these ones have the liners in at the moment as well. But this is just my favorite tire. I feel like for speed on the road, they are unbelievably fast. Considering they don't really have like that flat section through the middle, they feel like they do have that flat section. They don't feel bumpy, feel like you're running a mud tire, but as soon as you get off the road and you get into the really thick gravel, the mud, the sand, you just have an unbelievable amount of grip. This is the exact tire that I use for Unbound. I still have it, I've kept it. It's done a lot of Ks, and I've ripped it off the bike for the moment. But as you can see, the tread pattern is quite thin in the middle, but there's still solid bits of tread, and they kind of get bigger and disperse on their way out. I've definitely done a couple thousand kilometers plus race day on this tire. I did the Graveler on this tire, and I also did obviously Unbound on this tire, and all the training in between those 2 races on the same tire. And I had absolutely no problems, and I was just so impressed because everyone seemed to have so many problems at Unbound. I rode past probably over 100 people on the side of the road, stopped with punctures, and I was like, damn, I'm definitely gonna get a puncture. I don't know how my setup is. And I had absolutely no problems. I went through the tires the day after the race, and I don't even have a nick in them. One of these tires, and I'd say it's from one of the big rocky descent sections from Unbound, had a little bit of a bobble in it, and you can't obviously fix that, so that's why I had to rip one off, because it just felt really, really weird. But during the race, and for every other bit that I've done, Contis are definitely my top pick. But yeah, for the rest of the winter, I am thinking of using these Pathfinders on the bike. I think they'd be a good addition to kind of test these out to see what they're like. But if you do think I have forgotten something, leave it down in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We have just surpassed 600 videos on this channel, which is just crazy.